Questions. We have tons of them. What if some of those questions can be answered with a simple email? Now is that time, and welcome to Chat with Charlie. Host Stephanie Lynn is a certified spiritual life coach and psychic medium. She will work together with Spirit to answer both your submitted and live questions. Not only will Stephanie be providing you with insight, but also interviews with amazing guests. Now, your host of Chat with Charlie, Stephanie Lynn.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am very excited about today's show. Today, we are going to be welcoming back Ellie Weisensel, Psychic Medium. You've seen her on our panel. She was here a couple weeks ago talking about negative entities. Today, she's going to be joining us to discuss the body code and the emotion code. Good morning, Grizzly Bigfoot. Thank you so much for tuning in today. The body code and the emotion code are really fantastic ways to show how our body can help heal itself, how things get trapped within our body that might prevent us from healing. And we don't know. We don't know we're holding on to those emotions. We don't know we're holding on to some of these other things in our body. Good morning, Jackie. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning, Sherry. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And so while we wait, Ellie's having a little bit of technical problems for her to get in. I want to tell you a little bit about the body and the emotion code, and then also do things a little bit backwards so that we have more time with Ellie today. I'll kind of go over what's coming up on the show the next couple weeks and go from there. With the body code and the emotion code, this is going to be part of a 2-part series. So today, Ellie is going to come on. She's going to discuss with you what the body code is, what the emotion code is. Good morning, Tim. Thank you for tuning in. And how those things, those trapped emotions within our body, hold on to things and prevent us from releasing them. Then on December 1st, Ellie is going to be coming back, and she's going to be doing mini sessions for you guys, for the viewers. You know, she's going to be able to look for a trapped emotion, or if you have something like, for me personally, I was struggling with losing weight. You know, I'm getting really close to middle age. I was doing all the right things. I was exercising, but I wasn't able to lose weight. I kind of had plateaued. And I had talked to her during her getting her certification, and she was working with me. And as she worked through it, she did find some trapped things within my body that were preventing me from allowing my body to lose weight. And actually, I had become allergic to an idea, right? How do you become allergic to an idea? That just blew my mind. And so she had worked with me, and honestly, within probably 2 days of her doing that, I started seeing the weight starting to drop again. And I hadn't changed what I was doing. It just had helped move me past that plateau. And so this is really a great option that you can use in conjunction with things that you're already doing, in conjunction with medical treatments that you're already doing. It's a great support. I love it, Jackie. Calendar is already set. Yes, you don't want to miss part 2 of this show. Coming up within the next couple weeks, next week, we are going to be welcoming James Anito. He is going to be joining us live from Romania. James is a demonologist. He's an ordained minister. He does counseling for people that are experiencing negative hauntings. He does religious counseling, investigations, and lectures. So that, good morning, Diana. Thank you for tuning in. So that is a great option for us too, you know, because we don't always know, again, where do we go for these resources? How do we get help with the things that we need help with? And that's why we're here. So this is bringing in another resource, learning from somebody else. The 17th, we are going to be welcoming Kim Pomeroy, and she does quantum healing, which is another fantastic avenue, again, that can be used as a support and in conjunction to some of this holistic healing. We Perfect. I heard that Ellie is backstage. So when we look at the quantum healing, when we look at what we're looking at today, keep an open mind. Keep these as options that you can use to support what you're already doing to prioritize your healing and your body's healing. So please help me welcome Ellie to the show. Good morning, Ellie.
Good morning. The headaches I have trying to get on shows sometimes. I just don't
That's
get it.
okay. We're glad you made it. I don't think that the viewers wanted to listen to me ramble for much longer. They're very excited to have you today.
I think they would have.
Oh, so tell us a little bit about, because these metaphysical healing modalities are really new to a lot of us. And I was not really even very familiar with them until through knowing you and you going to become a practitioner. What is the emotion code and what is the body code?
The emotion code and the body code was created by Dr. Bradley Nelson a number of years ago. I actually started with the emotion code about 8-9 years ago is when I first heard of it.
Okay.
And somebody, I'd gone to a medium where I needed some work done on me, and she released a few trapped emotions, and it caught my peak and my interest because I noticed what it had done for me. So I started digging into the emotion code and gathering the information, because the emotion code is all out there for people. It's out there. You can find it. You can get the book online. You can order the book. You can go through the methods of teaching yourself how to use it and everything. And so I started doing that, and I was actually using it on a lot of family members and a lot of my pets.
Yes.
So the emotion code is a slice that is actually out of the body code. So I see the emotion code is like an overview umbrella where you can release trapped emotions. You're not digging too far down into the individual person.
Right.
If they had things going on, you can release the trapped emotions and they're going to feel the shift and the changes.
When you talk about trapped emotion, can you explain, what are we talking about? What would be an example of somebody holding on or having a trapped emotion that might be affecting their body?
Trapped emotions can be caused by a number of different things, from something very simple like the anxiety of going to the doctor or to a dentist, versus something traumatic like a severe car accident where you end up going to the hospital.
Right.
We all have emotions. We work with 60 of them, 6 different trapped emotions within the body. We all have emotions every day. We're human. Everything that happens, just like when I was trying to get in here on the show,
Right.
I had all these emotions going through, like, not again today. Anyway, so, but normally our body is so finely tuned that it can heal itself and go through the process and release those trapped emotions. However, there are times where our body doesn't quite function the way it should, and they get trapped within the body or within the field of our aura. So with those trapped emotions that are in there that our body did not properly release, they become like a blockage. If you ever watch a water stream, how it gently flows down,
Right.
and it flows really nice, and then it hits like this rock, and then it's got to find a way of getting around that.
Yes.
That trapped emotion is. It prevents the body from flowing the way it should. And then pretty soon it starts backing up and causing other issues and other problems.
Right.
So by releasing those trapped emotions out of the body, our body can then continue to function the way it should and flow the way it should. Our bodies are made up about 70-ish% of water. And so we have a lot of fluid within the body that needs to flow, including the energy. It needs to flow the way it should.
Right. And I like how you bring up that energy, because I think in modern society, we don't see ourselves as this body of energy anymore. And it really is so pivotal that we're all connected, that things are flowing freely so we can process through things. As you look at releasing the trapped emotions with the emotion code, how is the body code different?
like I said, the emotion code is kind of an overview, it's kind of like an umbrella. Whereas the body code, you're honing in on, there are 6 specific areas that we start out with the body code. And what I'm actually doing is working with your higher self. I'll connecting with the higher self and work with you, because your higher self is directing me as to where to go, where these tracking emotions are. So we're actually honing in, we're going down deep, and we're actually going into specific muscles. We're going into specific organs, or we're going into specific cells. I mean, it's very fine tuning into specific areas.
Yes. And I think, and I want to remind our viewers too, if you have questions about the emotion code and the body code, please drop them in. I know Ellie would love to answer them. And so I know when you were, and I'll just use myself as an example, when you were working on me, you know, we would sit down and I would sit down with, like, I remember I had that pain in my shoulder. And so you kind of work through based on symptoms that the physical individual is giving you, and then work with their higher selves to figure out why that's there, correct?
Correct. What we say in this practitioner is that anything can cause anything. So there'll be times that I will always ask the client, what would you like? What's going on in your life that you would like to see healed? And we'll make that list. And hopefully we'll work off that list. Because once I can connect with your higher self will say, yeah, those are issues and problems, but I really want us to work on this, because this is more important for her to get over and to deal with, to release and let go.
And we have a great question from Michelle, and thank you for tuning in from YouTube. We're glad that you're here. She says, how do we know what we need to work on the most? So if you have a client who's maybe just sitting down openly, how do you know where to focus with them?
Once again, I'll ask the higher self. They will direct me. So much of what we have happen in our life, we don't remember. We'll have something happen. We actually want to block it out because we don't want to remember what happened to us. But our subconscious mind knows everything. And not only does it know what's going on in our current lifetime, but it knows past lifetimes, and it knows families' past lifetimes.
Right.
So it remembers all of that.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I know too, when you were working up on me, some of the things that came up were, past life. And so things that I would have no idea why the things were affecting me. And in working with some of those trapped emotions, we found that some of them came when I was prenatal, before I was even born.
Correct. You can, the common trapped emotions, common means it's what you created in your current lifetime. But we also have like prenatal, which was created when your mother was carrying you in her womb. Right. We also have hereditary and inheritance, which means it went back generations to our ancestors that carried through the bloodline, and it landed in you. So that all plays a factor with trying to release all these trapped emotions.
Yeah, and Michelle has another great question, which I think kind of pays to what you talked about, because I know for me, on certain things that you worked on, it would go back to the same lineage in my family, almost to the point that you and I kind of laughed about it, of, I bet we know where this is coming from. And in that healing, you had also talked about healing the others in that line, healing, some of those, what you call miasms. And so Michelle's asking,
Correct.
Once an emotion is cleared, does it stay cleared?
Once you clear that specific emotion, that one would stay cleared. However, we have such an emotional life that we may have that same trapped emotion show up numerous times at different ages, different stages, different reasons in our life. We're like an onion. And once you peel off one of the layers, other things shuffle up through. So we may have cleared something in one layer, but that doesn't mean it's not down in there someplace else.
Right. And that's a good point. You can have those emotions trapped in similar parts, and you kind of got to pinpoint them. Michelle also says she's been told her mom was a worrier when she was pregnant, and she carries that worry with her.
I'm not surprised, because it is not your trapped emotion, that worry part is not yours, it's your mother's. However, because she was carrying you, you felt the vibration of it and you absorbed it and you hung on to it. So it's not per se your worry, it's hers, but yes, it is still resonating within your body.
Yes. When you're working through things, and we kind of talked about this, and even when you were working with my kids, I noticed that one of them especially really processed very quickly. And it was interesting because they were sitting here while you were working on them, and I could see them start yawning or stretching, knowing what you were processing through. But I know you've also said sometimes it can be frustrating because people won't automatically notice that change of that releasement. So how do you tell people in general, and then those who may not notice that shift immediately, how that's helping their body heal or bring it back into alignment?
That's a very good point, because I have noticed, now that I've been doing this for a number of years, I have noticed that some people are very in tune with their body. And I've noticed that they're very easily, they let the trapped emotions release and let them go. And you can see that, like you said, with the yawning and the shifting and their movements, and they can actually just feel it leave the body. Other people don't notice it right away. They need to have some time to process it for their body to release it. And I usually ask people to make sure they drink extra water during the processing time, because that will help
Right.
flush it through, because we are so much water. But a lot of times they'll realize a couple of days later, or 3 days later, maybe 4 days later, all of a sudden they'll realize that the pain that they had, they're not noticing it. They have learned
Right.
to live with that pain, and they don't notice it right away till it's actually gone. And then they'll realize, oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of being patient. Some people, like I said, process really quick, and other people don't.
Right. And I know, even for me, not with the emotion code and body code, because and I'm a lot more in tune with my body now. I could feel myself processing it. But for me, the first time I went for Reiki healing, and I laid there, and it was just a 15-minute session at a holistic event. And I'm like, that guy's crazy. I wasted my money. But honestly, the next day it was life-changing, and so I think people just need
That's
to have an open mind, because
open mind.
yeah, and let our body adjust and feel where those changes were. When do you tell people to seek, like, the emotion code or the body code?
It can be for almost anything in their life. I mean, we have things happen at a very extremely young age that we don't remember, but
Right.
yet our body's holding on to it. So anytime you have an inkling or a thought or curiosity, because it's amazing what our spirit will do to us to take us into the direction of what we need to go, and
Right.
seek that out and to give it a try.
Yeah.
Um, we are not doctors, so we always say you need to make
Yeah.
sure you go to your doctor, make sure, check everything out. But we are here to help, and
Yes.
to help the healing part of the body for the doctors to do what they need to do.
Right. And I like that too, because I think so many times, especially in our society, I feel like other countries and other areas are getting better at treating the whole body. But here we still, in my opinion, focus on, okay, your knee hurts. Here's this, let's look at the knee. We're adding modalities like the emotion code and the body code can help support and treat whole body in conjunction with your doctor.
Exactly. Exactly. We're looking at other aspects within the body as a whole, versus the doctors are going in for one specific thing. And that's all they're
Right.
worried about, is that disease that they're honing in on, but they're not looking at the rest of the body.
Yes. Yes. And so I have to laugh because a lot of Jackie's my sister, and she's like, I just want to ask you about the family issues, and my ghost said nope and turned you off. Probably because your ghost knows this is not the Jerry Springer show, and we can talk about those things later and where those tracked back to. Um,
Oh,
but I do think, even like professionally, a lot of people seek professional counseling and or life coaches, but I feel like this body code and emotion code can do a lot of that too, and help open avenues for people.
It can actually, I know I've helped some people where they feel like they're blocked, that their income is not coming in like it should. And then we
Right.
go in and figure out what trapped emotions are you holding on to that's preventing yourself from going in the direction you want to go in, going in the direction that you want to bring that revenue in. So
Right.
it's not just always a physical, and it's not just always a mental. There's other things that can fall around the emotion code and the body code that this can help with.
Absolutely. So I want to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to continue talking to you about the body code and the emotion code and kind of go from there. And remember,
Okay.
viewers, please pop in your messages if you have questions about how this modality works, how it might benefit you. Please pop them in. We'd love to answer your questions. We'll see you back in just a minute.
Ellie Weisensel, Psychic Medium, is a medical intuitive that specializes as a body code practitioner. As an energy healer, Ellie offers additional services that allow her modalities to be intertwined with energetic healing. Within your subconscious lies information that knows everything about you and why you deal with specific conditions. The subconscious can be considered the blueprint to your entire body. With Ellie working physically with your subconscious mind, we detect what negative emotions are trapped and where they are stored within the body that is causing you your emotional and physical pain. This work is designed to remove imbalances and correct them energetically, getting to the root cause of why you have your condition, to help balance your body so it may heal itself. Your body is infinitely wise and wants to be in balance. The body code is not only gentle for humans, but it is also a gentle process to help animals. For more information, contact Ellie Weisensel at the website below.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Chat with Charlie. I am your host, Stephanie Lynn, and you're listening to WLTK-DB Talk Radio. It's about 20 after the hour, and we are being joined by psychic medium and practitioner of emotion code and body code, Ellie Weisensel. And so if you're just joining us, we've been talking about what is the body code, what is the emotion code, and some of the ways that it can benefit people. And during the break, Michelle had popped in with another question, and she says, on average, how many sessions does someone require?
That a lot depends upon what is the person coming in to work on. If you're coming in for general, just kind of help me out here, maybe one or two, maybe even just one. If you've got a series of things going on in your life that you want to really pinpoint down and get back down into, it could require more.
Yes.
So it all depends upon what you're looking for.
Right. And I do want to mention, this, because I'm even considering this, and I know Ellie offers gift certificates. This would be a great Christmas present. And I'm really trying to figure out how I can get everybody in my family and extended family to do this, because I just believe in it so much. But I want to be clear with people too. The one thing this is not is where we call up Ellie and say, hey, I want you to work with me. And she clears these emotions, and then we don't do any self-work, right?
Yes, there is some work on your end as well. One is making sure that you're open to this.
Yes.
You may come in thinking that, well, this is just going to be hogwash. It really isn't going to amount to anything, because then you're kind of shutting yourself down. And even if we release some trapped emotions, if you're not open to it, if you're not, like I tell people, if you're tired, take a nap, sit down, read a book, let your body do its healing. Make sure you drink your water. I've had a few other things where spirit will show me something as I'm working on someone, and I will relay that to the person. Just an example is somebody was having back issues and was constantly going into the chiropractor and wasn't seeing any results. Well, after a session or two with me and releasing of the trapped emotions, I saw a pillow in between the knees. So I suggested that this person put a pillow in between the knees.
Right.
So it's those little things that if you're not willing to do those things, you're not going to see the progress as fast, or you're not going to get the results that you want, the full effect results.
Absolutely. And I know in people within my family that you've worked with, and releasing some of those feelings of, I don't want to say, but like sadness or frustration. And if there's not other support brought in and other discussions, I don't feel like it's just a one and done kind of thing. And so I want people to understand that, you know, I can't just go to Ellie and say, I'm feeling sad today, can you fix this? Because there is still responsibility on our part to understand our body, to work through these things.
Correct. So you can come in and we could release like the frustrated part, because frustration is a trapped emotion.
Right.
We can release that, but then you need to think back when you realize what might have caused that, is kind of avoiding that issue again, or figuring out what that issue caused it, that you're not replaying that again and getting it stuck in there again.
Absolutely. And Diana popped in and she says, I'm currently working with Ellie on the body code. She says, it honestly amazes me. And now I want to get everyone I know body code sessions for Christmas. I am grateful. So people, there is just so much value in this to use with some of these things. And Diana also adds, you need to be committed to healing. You know, and healing, it's not easy. And even some of the things that, and again, I'll use myself as an example. When you were working with me, that came up. Yes, you know, you remove those trapped emotions, but like you said, it also left me examining some of those relationships with family or where these things came from, so that I don't repeat the same cycles, so that I don't repeat, you know, so that I don't sell my soul again, because you know that had come up in a session, that in a past life I had sold part of my soul. So you have to be able to look at these things. And when I say that, I mean, the things that Ellie found in working with me, I was amazed. And I'm like, that's a thing? Like, oh, oops. You know, and where else do you go to understand some of those past life things? What would you say? Because as much as this benefits other people, I know it makes you feel good to work with spirit and be that conduit. So what drew you outside of having to do some own self work, but made you stay so committed to the body code and the emotion code?
One of the first things that I found out by because I am a psychic medium, I had cats, and I still do, but I had a cat that I was always feeling like whenever I was holding her, I was feeling pain. And by going through the body code and working with my psychic mediumship side, more the psychic because she was alive at the time, I found out that she was actually in a past life a lab cat in a university school.
Okay.
And I was feeling all of her pains. And so I could release all of those trapped emotions off of her, which helped her in her current life. But then it also would stop the process of feeling those pains in her next life when she passed over. Then from that, I went on. I had family members that had some very serious health issues going on. One had breast cancer. The other one had stomach cancer and ovarian cancer. And so they both went the Western route, which I was very grateful for, where they went through the chemo and the radiation and all that. But I, on the side, worked with their higher self, releasing their trapped emotions because of the process they were going through.
Yes.
We would dig in and find out which blood cells, whether it was white or the red, find out which one was unhappy, get it happy again so they could continue with their process. Both their doctors stated, I can't believe how well you did through the entire process, because most people don't have.
No.
So it was the sideline of helping their bodies to continue to heal through the process of what their doctors were doing.
Yeah, it's really, and I can't stress this enough with all these modalities. I really see them as links, links together with what we've learned scientifically with medication and medicine, but also some of these other ways to support the whole body.
Right. And during both of those times, I'm a Reiki master, so I was also doing Reiki, which is another modality. But
Yes.
they all just blend in so well together.
And I know today our main focus is really body code and emotion code, but you do, we will be putting Ellie's information in the comments for everybody too, so you know how to find her. But people can book readings with you, they can book Reiki, they can book body code or emotion code.
Correct. But then a lot of times they tend to blend together. So
Yes.
Like I said, I could be working on somebody with the body code and spirit will show me something, which is psychic or medium,
Yes.
to help answer healing. So and then I always do at the end of a session, I will actually do a few Reiki symbols to help them to heal and to wrap them up for the healing process.
I love that. So
to blend them a little bit, but
yes,
boy, get them individually.
Well, and I have found too, even in myself doing Reiki or in myself, I do offer past life regression. But I found the same thing. It's never strictly just, oh, we're just doing past life regression, or oh, we're just doing Reiki, because if the information is there, or if I'm doing a psychic medium reading or a psychic reading and I get medium messages, I'm going to ask them, do you want to hear this message? I'm not going to not give the information. So I understand that. Michelle asks, what if you don't have any idea of any of your past lives, but have been told that you have lived several past lives?
We do dig into the past lives as far as it could happen. I'm not going to guarantee it because it's your higher self that's dictating where we go and what we do. We do go into some past lives. I generally don't do past life readings, but I may be able to find the issue that happened in a past life that caused you problems that you carried over into your current life, and to help you heal from that.
And as an example of what Ellie is saying, when you were working with me, I had told you one of the things on my list was I felt at the time, I felt very stuck professionally. And, I felt like I was listening to spirit. I put myself out there, but I didn't feel like I was making the advancements that I wanted. And actually, Ellie had looked and found in a past life, I was cursed, that if in this life I would choose to use my abilities, that I wouldn't be successful in that. And so in working with that, you were able to remove that generational curse or past life curse, and things have shifted, thankfully. So I'm very grateful that you found that. Still trying to figure out who cursed me, because that was not very nice. So yeah, there's definitely things, and I never would have expected that to come up. So definitely things that she can dive into. What else do you think people should know about the body code or the emotion code?
The body code and the emotion code are very they're very subtle. They're invasive, which means there's no slicing you open, there's no surgery, there's none of that. It's very working with your mind, your subconscious mind. When your subconscious mind brings something through, it's saying we're ready to let this go, and it needs to come to the forefront to let it go. Some people will sometimes need to know like an age or where it came from, what happened. But most of the times that's not the case. Your subconscious has gotten to the point that says, okay, you've healed from it. We need to let it go so you can completely heal from it. So it can be very gentle. I do have a wording that I say at the end to make sure the process goes smoothly for you, so you're not feeling any severe pains or anything like that. So it's a very gentle process. It's gentle enough that I even use it with animals quite often. And even little tiny kids, like I think the youngest I've worked on, I think she was like 2 or 3 months old.
Wow. Yeah. And it is absolutely amazing. And I know when you were working on my kids and the things that came up, when you hear the things that will come out of this, and especially when, like for me, it kept getting linked back to the same place ancestrally, you really understand. There's a lot of understanding of why some of those things are. And I love it. Holistic Works LLC says, oh my God, I need a session. So you know where to find Ellie. And you guys, if you haven't checked out Holistic Works, she is fantastic. So I recommend you check her out as well. And you have a Facebook page, which will link you right to your main website, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And on my main website, I do have explanations of the emotion code, and there's explanations of the body code to help you give a little bit more of an understanding. And then that also has my information as far as if you wanted to create a session, how to do that. It's all on the website. My Facebook page has just some things on it, but my website actually has all the information.
Yes, and we'll be posting her website on there for everybody if you want to go back and look for it. But do you want to tell them what that website is, Ellie?
The website is ellieweisenselt.wixsite, which is WIXSITE.com/EWPM.
Perfect. Thank you. So please check her out. Seriously, if you have family that is open, and thank you, Todd has been very generously popping things in for me so I don't have to try to do it and talk at the same time today. So he just posted that where you can find Ellie. Both her Facebook and her site are up there. So please check her out. And I do want to mention, so we're talking about you doing, the gift certificates, getting your family some sessions if they're open to it. But I also want to mention another idea while we're on this, and maybe some of you have seen my cup that I'm drinking of, which was a fantastic gift from my friend Ellie. But your daughter actually owns the Bear Twin Novelties, correct?
Correct. She does.
Yes. And so we'll be posting Tia's link in there, but check out Bear Twin Novelties, guys. They are on Facebook. You can see one of my towels back there that I also got from them at one of the venues. I absolutely love her products. So I wanted to give her a huge shout out. I love the cups. My kids were trying to steal them. Oh, perfect. Yeah. And those stickers, you said they're dishwasher safe, microwave safe.
Yeah. Yes, these stickers, I'm not sure about microwave, but I know they are dishwasher safe.
Okay. Well, these cups can't go in the microwave anyway, so
they're metal. There's some metal on
yeah.
these.
But so just options out there if you're looking to support small businesses. Because her stuff is fantastic. I love her towels too. I have some in my camper. I have some for this stuff. So in closing, before we let you go, can you talk about, and I know you had talked about working with some family members who were really sick, but I guess just again, kind of reiterating how life-changing this can be for people to process through these things.
Let me give you an example of somebody that I had worked on. She, and this takes me back to her little baby that was only 2 or 3 months old at the time. I was working on her with the emotion code, and I knew she had a baby. I didn't know how old she was, but we did some work on her. And as I was working on her, we went back and found the year and the quarter that these trapped emotions were trapped within her body. And Spirit showed me the baby. So my next question to her was, would this have been during your 3rd trimester? Because I could see the bump. And she says, actually, yes, it was. So I said, well, once we're done with you, would you mind if I check your child, your little girl? And she says, that's fine. So we finished up with her and we got done with her. We went back, and the issue that she was having is from birth, from day one, her daughter never slept through the night. And during the day, she'd only sleep maybe 2 or 3 hours at a time. She was not sleeping. So she was never getting a good night's sleep. So as I was working on her and we got done with her and I went to her baby, There were some trapped emotions in there that were from actually mother, from when she was hearing her. So we released those trapped emotions. And it was like 3 or 4 days later, she sent me a message saying, I can't believe this. Since the day you released those trapped emotions, she has slept 6 hours straight through the night.
Yes.
Which is something what she never had. And it was like 3 months and she'd never had a good night's sleep. And now she was at that point getting good night's sleeps.
Yes.
So this is how life-changing those trapped emotions can be.
It is. And I believe so much in this. And two, I feel drawn to talk about quickly, those of us, that are listening, that are out there, who are the generational or the ancestral healers in our family. And we're looking to heal some of those lines. And I know in you working with me, and we had kind of talked about those miasms, those things that are passed down from line to line, but that it's able to heal that so that it stops and it can't keep going. It can't keep affecting your family lines.
Correct. So when we heal you, if you have something that comes from an ancestor, we also bring your kids in, because your kids you might have passed it on to your kids. So not only do we go forward to your kids, but it goes backwards all the way to where it started from, and it heals all those generations back.
Yes, and it is. So I really recommend everybody, please jump on Ellie's website, check it out. But so let's talk about December 1st. You're coming back, and we are going to do mini sessions. So let's tell people a little bit what to expect from you during that episode. Mark your calendars, everybody, because you don't want to miss part 2 to understanding this.
If you come into the show and you've got something going on in your life, like maybe you've got a backache, or your toe hurts, or you got a headache or something, or you knew you were in an accident at one point of time in your life, I'm going to do a mini session to release a few of those trapped emotions to help you along. And then I'll actually go through the entire process of doing those releasements. I'm not going to, if you've got multiple things going on, or multiple layers, because a lot of times we'll go down layers. We'll have an issue or problem, but that has an underlying issue or problem. That's got an underlying, and then that. I won't guarantee how deep we go, because if we have a lot of people that have something going on, I'd like to try to help as many people as I can. But even just releasing a couple trapped emotions is going to make a difference in your life.
Absolutely. And I love it. Jackie says, I have so many questions, Ellie. We will be in touch. So
sounds good.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ellie, for coming on and talking about this. I'm really looking forward to having you back on in a couple of weeks, because I think talking about these healing modalities is one thing, but until people experience them, that's when that life-changing and that, oh my gosh, I want everybody to do this kind of comes in. So I'm very excited.
It does. And with Christmas coming up and the stress of Christmas, it doesn't hurt to release some of those emotions.
Yeah. Get rid of the stress of Thanksgiving gatherings and other holidays, and then the stress of Christmas, and kind of relax. So thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, Ellie, for being here, for helping tell everybody about this. We are going to take a station break. When we come back, I'll be wrapping up the show, kind of going back over what we have coming up in the next couple weeks. And I feel like we're doing 6 cards today. So start kind of thinking about that, 1 through 6, all 6, whatever you want. And we'll see you back in just a minute. Bye, Ellie.
Bye. Thank you.
Certified psychic medium Stephanie Lynn creates an authentic connection between the living and the spirit world. Stephanie knows she is here to help heal, educate, and provide validation that there is more after death, and allows herself to be a conduit and work as a team with spirit to pass on messages from their world to ours. Stephanie Lynn also works as a spiritual life coach to help you achieve, create, and manifest your best self and life. Looking for help communicating with an animal? Searching for a past life regression therapist? or dealing with a paranormal experience, Stephanie Lynn is here to help. For a list of full services, visit her on Facebook under Stephanie Lynn Spirit Sensitive. That's Stephanie Lynn Spirit Sensitive.
Welcome back. It is 45 past the hour. I am your host, Stephanie Lynn. You are listening to Chat with Charlie on WLTK-DB Let's Talk Radio. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, mark down your calendars for December 1st. If you want to come back in and ask Ellie some questions or maybe have her do a little bit of work on you for those mini sessions. I'm really excited about that. Coming up next week, we welcome James Anito. He is going to be joining us live from Romania. So very excited about that. The following week, we have Kim Pomeroy coming in and talking to us about quantum healing. And then the 24th, Thanksgiving Day, I will not be doing a show that day. I will be enjoying some time with family. And so I hope you guys enjoy your holiday. Check out the station. Hop on, look at the schedule. We are adding a lot of new shows. There's different topics coming in. So there's a show for everybody. And please just help share, help get the station out there, get your shows out there, support the other hosts. They're all phenomenal. I appreciate this platform so much. I appreciate the family that is this station. They are amazing. Thank you, Todd, for helping me out today and popping some of those things in there so I can focus on talking. And now we're going to talk about the cards, a little bit of inspiration for this week. So if you kind of have been needing some insight on something, maybe looking for some guidance, pick a card. You can pick randomly 1 through 6. You can pick all of them. It's totally up to you. And my laundry is done just in time to get off the show and be folded. Lucky me. So card number 1 talks about transcending. And I really feel like this has to do with looking at and allowing these things, like the body code, the emotion code, allowing these opportunities around you to come in and help pivot you higher, to help you level up, to help you I feel like leveling up, that ascension, we're all going through that ascension. We're all adjusting. We're all learning, all at different rates, but be appreciative of where you are, be appreciative of what you're going through, and allow yourself to transcend, allow yourself to follow that journey. Card number 2. I feel like if you picked card number 2, when we think about the Phoenix and how the Phoenix transformed themselves and recreated themselves, I feel like if you picked number 2, you are struggling right now to figure yourself out, to figure out where you want to go, to recreate, to move forward. And what I feel like Spirit's bringing in is saying, pick what is, or notice, I should say, the little things around you, because Spirit's always sending in those messages. They're always sending in those little opportunities, and allow yourself to start with those small steps that'll help move you past why you're feeling like you aren't able to create what you want. And ask Spirit for guidance. Sit down with them, talk to them, and ask them to open a clearer way so that you understand how you can continue forward. Card number 3, courage. And so I think this speaks on 2 things. First, I feel like Spirit is coming in and honoring those of you who have been courageous lately. I feel like there are some of you who have really pushed through certain obstacles in your life, things that are going on that have been difficult. But then I also feel like this is saying you need to allow yourself to be courageous. There are things that go through all of our lives that we don't really want to deal with, we don't really want to look at, but we have to push through. And so Spirit is talking about a time of you kind of coming into that, understanding I can push through this. I'm not alone. I have the support of Spirit, and I can be courageous. I can go through this. And understanding that that's just a lesson that we're all kind of or you're going through at the time. Card number 4, power, and that's inverted. And so I feel like there are quite a few of you out there right now who don't feel like you have a lot of power or a lot of control over things that are going on in your life right now. And what Spirit's showing me is you kind of feel like you're out on a raft and you're riding the waves. And that's okay. There are times in our lives where we kind of have to go with the flow. But I feel like there's a sense of frustration in that for you right now. And just know that what Spirit's doing and where they're taking you, just allow some patience. Know that you're going to regain your power. You're going to refine yourself and be able to feel like you are in more of control of things that are going on. And you're going to move past these things. But it's a transitional phase for you right now. Card number 5. Joy. If you picked card number 5, I really feel like you are moving into a place of joy. And when I say joy, I see this joy as being appreciative, just a pure happiness, not something where it's like, oh, I got a brand new car, I'm excited. But I feel like you moving into a place of complete contentment, a place of joy, and a place of like appreciation, just where you are seeing the good side in so many things, and it brings you that peace. And the last card, card number 6, focus. So if you picked card number 6, I feel like Spirit is calling you to focus, to pull in your ideas, to pull in your thoughts and kind of organize and collect them. Because I feel right now, if you picked number 6, you have all these thoughts going through your head or all these things going on. And you're just kind of bouncing around with them. And it's like, make a plan, make a plan in your head. Decide what path you're going to take and follow that, and allow yourself to follow it and not be constantly distracted and pulled away from what you hope to accomplish. Really focusing in, really honing in on what you want or where you want to go or what you want to manifest into your life. Okay, so really quick, just a quick recap. Number 1 was transcending. Number 2, transmutation, kind of feeling stuck in recreating. 3, courage. 4, power, kind of going through this right now and just letting those motions of life going through, but knowing it's a transition. Number 5, joy. And number 6, focus. So I hope those cards made sense to you. I hope they were able to give you some insight in areas that you needed insight. I hope next week that you will join us and James as he comes live from Romania to talk about his journey, to talk about how he helps people that are dealing with negative haunting situations. Kind of how he came back into being an ordained minister and the things that he has gone through. Thank you so much, Christina. I'm so glad you tuned in, and I do hope you will join us next week. So start saving up those questions the following week. Save up some questions about, the healing modalities, the quantum healing, because just like the body code and the emotion code, this is another fantastic tool to put in your toolbox that you could find very beneficial going forward. Remember, check out Everything Great, all the other hosts on the station. If you didn't get to listen live, or if you're like, hey, guys, telling your friends, you missed this really great show, Chat with Charlie, the host, Stephanie Lynn, she's crazy, we love her. Send them on over to Podbean or iHeartRadio. They can always download the show there and catch up on past episodes. Thank you again. I appreciate you all. I hope we were able to bring you resources that you will find beneficial, and that maybe you can share some of these modalities with your friends and family. I hope you all have a great week. I will see you here next Thursday at 9 a.m. with James and Ito. Have a great week, everybody. Goodbye.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.